Hello.
Good evening.
Okay, good evening. Okay, so let's start. Actually, we are already finished unit 3, that is green energy, resources 1. We already cover hydrogen energy, biomass energy, biogas, synthetic biology, GMO, and hybrid systems. So let's start today for unit 4, and unit 4 is mainly cover with this algal bioenergy and carbon capture, all these things. So let's start with algal bioenergy. Is my slides is visible to you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so this algal bioenergy. So this is nothing but a small part of this biomass energy, but this biomass energy is a broad topic which is mostly covered with any type of biomass. So here we are going to specifically deals with the only the algal blooms which is unconditionally and which is rapidly growing in any every water bodies in India or any water body. That means algal biomass or algae that it has been growth very instantly and uh, rapidly. So this plant that is called algae, that is a very tiny plant and the primitive types of plants. So here the question is, what plants grow the most rapidly on earth? This is a typical question. In earth, most rapidly growing plant, and even it does not require any land, it require only some water bodies, and it require less amount of nutrient. So this is nothing but the algae. So algae, which is the most rapidly growing plant of the earth, and numerously or abundantly any conditions or everywhere if the small water is there, algae can grow. So these teeny small plants which are rapidly growing, let's utilize these things. So how it can be utilized? This is the structure of how algae looks like. It is very tiny microscopic, not microscopic, small tiny particles, green colored particles which are present in mostly any pond, any lake where water can be stocked for a period of time. So these small algae are size is very small, but it grows mostly in very large amount in a cumulative amount. And if once the algae growing starts, it never stops. It's growing unconditionally, and that can be cover whole the plant body, sorry, whole the water body. So this causes some problem to the water body, such as eutrophication. Have you heard about the word eutrophication? Eutrophication is nothing but the excess rich in nutrient in water body, such as phosphorus and nitrogen. So this phosphorus and nitrogen in water body, when it excess amount happens, then what happened? It can grow high amount of algae or any water plant systems which may be growth in the water body, and that is depleting the water quality of this water body. So water quality, how it depleting? It reduces the diesel oxygen present in the water body, and which results in suffocating different for the different water organisms present in these water bodies. So this creates a huge problem to the water body in particularly in earth and everywhere. So let's discover, let's take use of this. So how can it you take use of this thing? So this research is going on, and this high amount of algae, the biomass which are come to existence for the two categories. First is this bioenergy producing, second is the carbon capture studies. First, let's discuss about bioenergy. Bioenergy nothing but some energy which can be produced by the biomass of this any types of plants, animals, any its own weights or in own body mass. That is called biomass energy, and this biomass energy is called bioenergy. And particularly now we are dealing with algal, so that is called as algal bioenergy. Here your topic point: algal bioenergy. This algal bioenergy. So it means we are focusing on the biomass of the algae which can convert it into energy by only using of this algae biomass. So that is called algal bioenergy. And this algal bioenergy having a huge potential nowadays because already we are already discussed the we are searching for green energy in source of green energy like different biofuels and all this e-energy, all these things. So this algae which is a unnecessary growing plant that can create nuisance for the water bodies that can come to use for our energy demand, meet the energy demand. So this is keep in mind several research is going on, and we are collect these water bodies algae and that can be useful. So these are the learning objective which can be used. So the teeny biomass or the algae which is rapidly growing, what can be utilized using it is what are the similarities and differences between biofuel and fossil fuel. This is also you have to know what are the different similarity and what are the difference. These are the main concerns about when we are going to study about the green energy. So biofuels and bio from biofuels bioenergy can we can convert, and fossil fuel fossil energy can be come out. So this biofuel and fossil fuel, the main difference is that biofuels are the biomass which can be converted to fuel, and fossil fuel are also this biomass, but they are undergo different a certain time period and temperature and pressure inside the earth crust to become the fossil. When the biomass become fossil, it takes thousands of years and a lot of temperature and pressure inside the earth. Then it become biomass to biofossils. And the fossil fuels are limited, but biofuels can be regenerative easily. Fossil fuel cannot, you cannot regenerate. So these are the differences. So what are the similarities then? From both we can derive energy and we all can meet our energy demand. This is the one point. Second point, both are from biomass. So it is one is raw biomass and other is called processed biomass. So these are the similarities are there. So what are algae then? Then what can a biological engineer make out of algae? So we already discussed algae are the small tiny particles or tiny plants in the earth which can rapidly grow and which create water body problem. But this problem or this deficiency can be converted into a fortune or converted to our making beneficial from this waste. We can utilize this algae. So that process, how this process algae can be converted from waste to energy, this is the task of this biological engineer, like that you and us and the researchers which are studying about this microbiology particularly and biotechnology. So third question is, why is breaking of the algae cell wall important for biological engineers? Actually, we all discuss actually in our subject the cell wall. What is cell wall? The cell is a cover with a wall which is the protective layer which can be covered to the cell components and the cell body fluids of the cell. Any cell, that can be plant cell, animal cell. But this algae, which is a very small particles, like teeny cells or teeny plants, it is a primitive types of mostly. It does not have any branch, tip, leaf, all these things. Small dots type of structures which having one chloroplast that can be chloroform. Sorry, that contains some primitive types of body structures in it, and the chlorophyll pigment is present, which can be the main important source of energy production from the sun. Because we know, all you know, the chlorophyll pigments present in the plants that can convert the sun energy to the useful energy, such as it can be stored in its fruits, in its body wall, body, or anything. So as the algae contains chlorophyll pigments, and it can capture the solar energy to in its biomass form. It does not have any fruits and all these things. So it is stored the energy in its own cell to grow, which is the biomass in the form of biomass. So this biomass can be converted into energy by different processes. So first processes is called biofuels. We already discussed biofuels, and second process is called biodiesel. Biofuel, biodiesel. These are the different types of terminology that slightly differ. Some examples for that: biofuels, which are the fuel, or which can be a broader term, which can be used for converting biomass into energy, and it is directly as a two types. One is called bioethanol and second is called biodiesel. Bioethanol is a simple water soluble. It is not, does not requires any steel or oil kind of thing. But biodiesel, which is the mostly oily or the fat of natural body systems, that's called biofuel. So this biofuel that collectively mix the combination of the both terms, that bio ethanol as well as the biodiesel, both can be produced from this biomass. So this are the substitute for this alternative energy that can be used for our normal energy. So this another source of these types of things, bioenergy, or the fossil fuels are the other greener source than the fossil fuels. Then another term is there, biological engineers. Biological, who are the biological engineers? Who find the process to convert biomass to the bioenergy. The persons, the researchers, and the biologists, which are mostly biotechnologists and microbiologists, which are the develop some processes which can be converted from biomass to the biofuels, which may be either this biodiesel or maybe bioethanol. So the conversion process is also very difficult task, because it is not normally converted easily. So we have to go through a different processes which is developed by our researchers, and these biological engineers are the expert of the biology to use these bioprocesses or metabolic activity in the biological cell itself to form the energy, or which can be alternatively process developed for the conversion of energy of the growing algae to the biofuels. And these are called bioengineers, and these are several processes. For example, you can collect the biomass and processes directly or compost directly to form the bioenergy. You can also convert it to energy. You can also, or directly you can burn it, or you can add some chemicals to break the cell wall and extract this energy. Either there are so many different processes are there, and different techniques to develop the different medicines also from this algae or small bacteria to kill this system. So there are different processes which are the tasks for these bioengineers are being allotted to the tasks. Then algae are the super plant. How it can be a super plant? Previously, we are known the algae are the create a problem to the water body, and now we are calling it as a super plant. Both are contrapositively, but we cannot mix the two terms. So, whenever the waste which is useful to convert or to produce energy, then the waste is not a waste. That become some resources. So waste to resources, and the resources which, because we did not know, there are two things. We did not know the process how the waste can be converted to energy. Then the waste will be simple waste, we just throw it. But when we are in case of here algae, recently we know the process, the conversion of this bioenergy or bio algal biofuel, then the algae which is commonly grow very rapidly without any effort, so it is a source or resource for the energy. So that's why it is called a super plant, because it does not require nutrition, require any types of attentions, and it can grow easily and multiply so many times quickly for than other plants. For example, if you are grow a some mango tree, or if you are grow a some big tree, it takes numbers of years or numbers of months or numbers of hundreds of years maybe it become fruitful, because this algae which can be easily multiplied, easily grow within a few hours or few days. So this is very much quick, rapidly going, and that can be give energy to us. So that's why it is called a super plants. And it is the teeny and plants that can grow in lakes, pond, and swimming pool everywhere you can found. So this is a photograph taken, algae photograph, that how, see how this is, and right side the photograph is the human hair, which is compare the two things, the algae cell and human hairs. So this is very much similar in radius. So if you see, want to see the detailed structure, you have to use a microscope to see this algae structure. So obviously the left side photo you can see the greenish nature of this algae, which can be rapidly grow in any water body. In water body is stagnant, then it can be easily grow on that, and everywhere you can find it. Algae grow like weeds, and all types of algae that may be engineers to use grow twice their size in a day. See, that is how it much fast you can grow. In a day, it is multiplied twice as its size. So how quick growing is that? And if you are collect all this algae, so huge amount of algae plants can be collected in a days, and that can be produced for the energy. So the types of the algae that many engineers used to grow is twice their size. So compared to the human growth, and it could be like it. On Monday you will 50 pound, and Tuesday it will be 100 pound. One day the weight of this algae is doubled. So how much rapidly it can grow? And in on Wednesday it will be 4 times. It multiply 2x. So it can easily grow and very fast. The growing is very fast. So this can be rapid growing. And the what is the main sources of this growing in nature? Main sources is the chlorophyll pigment present in it. It can able to convert solar energy to the biomass. This is the main important thing, how it can grow. What is the energy? The main energy is the utilization of nutrients and solar energy, and store the energy in the form of biomass of the algae. Let's see. See, this is the photosynthesis process. Photo means light, synthesis to make, usually in chemical processes are there. So carbon, it can utilize carbon dioxide and solar energy and different nutrients, water, and it can convert the solar energy to the store in the form of algae biomass. So there are two things happens. One is it is a plant. So carbon dioxide which can be utilized or that can be converted to oxygen, and this is a very huge task nowadays, because carbon dioxide amount of the carbon dioxide content of the earth is also rapidly increasing, and due to this global warming and climate change happen. So the algae we can grow that can also you reduce the carbon dioxide load of the earth by utilizing carbon dioxide and store in the form of energy in the biomass, and that biomass of the algae that can be utilized by us to form algal bioenergy. This is the process where this energy comes to the biomass or comes to the algae. That means the carbon dioxide, sunlight, and the photosynthesis process in the presence of chlorophyll pigment in the chemical reactions. This is the main process of this biomass energy of algae, mainly algae particularly. So why do biological engineers use algae as a biofuels? We already discussed. Biological engineers means the biologist, the microbiologist, the biotechnologist. Which why this we use only the algae? This is very much important question that may come in your exam. Why we are focused on algae to produce these biofuels or bioenergy, not focus any other type of plants. Why? What is the reason? These are the reason. First reason it is grow very fast. Fastest growing plant in the earth, which is algae. None other than this algae, no plant can grow twice its was weight in a day. In a day, let's you are an algae. Then if you are 50 kg today, tomorrow you will be 100 kg. Likewise, this rapidly weight increasing, it is a rapid weight increasing machine in the form of biomass. Second point, algae grow in many places around the world. It does not require any types of specific environment to grow. Any places except some polar region, extremely hot or extremely cold region, all region in the world that can algae can commonly grow. So this is another reason. No care needed. It is once it is planted, it may will grow. Only you have to harvest. This is the important thing. Third point, people do not usually eat algae. If you are plant some vegetables or some other tree which can be required very much care and chance to be still eat it because it is useful to others. You can grow and you can take some leaves and some useful parts of the from the tree that can be used various way. But algae, human mainly particularly us, we cannot utilize or cannot eat, cannot even any uses of the algae except this recently this conversion of bioenergy. No other uses it is. Only it is a waste material. So we does not need to take special care for that. No need to worry. No need to safety or any does not keep any security guard to keep eye on this algae plant. Then make fourth point is we can make biofuel from these three parts of the algal cell. So this is very much important factor. If you collect some biomass, for example, I collect some wood, then most of the woods which can be burned, if you are want to burn, or you have to convert it to biofuel, like gasify, or you can convert it. Only 50% can you can conversion takes place. But in this algae, 75% conversions can be takes place. That means no wastage at all. Very much little wastage. So this is very much efficiency of this algae for the biomass conversion is very high. So these are the different factors where algae is chosen for this biomass or biofuel production or bioenergy production. It is the important question. Please note, make a note. Or this region where we are utilizing this algae and now it is very much interest to the peoples with, because this is not only region one region, another region is the carbon dioxide capture that we are already discussed. The carbon dioxide, it is a photosynthesis process. Carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, it can convert this into oxygen. So this carbon dioxide in the of the atmosphere also it have to reduce. So these are the two main important features or plant of the algae. That means algae can are the good plant to make the biofuel because it does not eat and does not take away from the people, and it is make oil and sugar inside the wall and that remove the oil and sugar and make the fuel because the algae is made up of cell wall. cell is consisting of cell wall, and the cell wall is consisting of the cellulose material, and the cellulose material and lignin, and the cellulose are the fiber material or biomass, and lignin is the oily material. You can extract the lignin, and that can be also converted into biodiesel and biofuel, that is a form of biofuel. So see, this is a typical structure of the algae, a cell. Three parts of the algae that make into fuel. First is oil, second is starch, and third is cell wall. The three things we can separate from the algae, and every parts of this algae can make different energy. Oil, obviously, it is the biofuel. It can produce biodiesel, biofuel. Starch and cell wall. Cell wall is a fiber or cellulose material that can be used as direct biomass. And starch, which is extracted as a sugar form, that is also useful in different drugs formation, different types of making cosmetics, and various products like that. So these are the three different parts which can be extracted from the algae, and this is may mostly um, due to this bioengineers or the research that is going on. So this is the important for the plant cell, because cell wall, which is can cover the by cell structures, and this cell wall is a fiber which can be useful as the fiber work of this biomass, and the inner side that is oil and sugar that you can separate it is. So different plants are having different types of structures. So algae having this, but you cannot expect this type of structure or this type of extraction from higher energy higher plants. So this is the unique feature of the plant, that three parts of this can be taken out to from the energy or extract it from it. So very, for summarization, it is very small plant, lives in water in places around the world, very grow fast, people does not eat, compressed oil, starch and cell wall. These are the advantages where we can algae are mostly utilized for the production of biofuel. So cell wall analogy, you have to just see, this is in this figure, what how cell wall is of the algae structure. So this is the same thing, because the cell wall like a box model, it is a Lego structures, like small children we are playing, with the Lego structure. So the cell wall of algae is like that, and student can they take a part of that. So this is very much unique, and you can easily rearrange it like a Lego box. A structure made up of sugar that surrounds and protects the cell, while sugars can be made in the biofuels. Obviously, the cell wall also utilized for the biofuel, and the oil which is also extracted. The extracted oil is also used for different purposes, and like the sugars are also utilized for different purposes. So why algae are good for biofuels? Obviously, this going fast. By photosynthesis, algae can make sugar and oil and cell wall. So these are three major products. This is maybe question for the three useful products or useful parts of the algae that can be utilized. That is, so first is oils, second is sugars, and third is cell wall. Human do not drink or eat algae, so we can use this oil and sugar for the making fuel. So we do not require any types of consumption for human beings. If you want to, because biofuels are all derived from the oils and fats present in the seeds. If you are producing some seeds of the sunflower, that is produce sunflower oil, and which may be which is useful for the cooking purposes, or humans can eat as a refined oil or refined sunflower oil. If you are utilize this sunflower oil for the energy demand, then the food demand or food security also become low. So if you are do not able to eat, then also you can go for that. If you do not, if you demand if food is more, and how can we utilize these crops of energy for the energy production? But algae is a different cases. We does not utilize this oil for the eating purposes. So that directly go for this energy purposes. Then what parts of the algae can be made into biofuels? Obviously, these three things. Biofuels can be made with the oil, starch, and cell wall. Why do we want to know about the sugars of the cell wall? So, knowing the type of sugar ligose pieces, that is the structure of the cell wall of the algae is a type of ligo structures which is make algal cell wall have to how to apart from this energy expensive or smashing melting processes and to know ligo spaces you can easily dismantle this cell wall to useful products. So this is all about algae. Why algae is mostly utilized for the biofuels. So this is a way to grow algae quantity algae farmers may run as the pond. So any conditions, just you have to leave the algae in a ponds or natural environment. So this can be grow easily. So nowadays, see, this is a natural pond systems where you can that's called raceway ponds. Means the normal open ponds where algae can be grow. This is the lab culture or photobioreactor in the lab. Small pipes are there, or in the pipes given algae can be grow, and there are it is under control environment. So a way to grow the algae is very in a this is mainly this photobioreactor is used for the testing of the algae in the lab, and the pond method is used for the massive production, the large scale production. So reactor where reactions happen, the photobioreactor are the place where light of the fraction reaction takes place. So you are given the light and the presence of chlorophyll. The photosynthesis reactions can take place in a controlled environment or tubes, and this can be collected the energy by these photo reactions. They require more material. This requires special care for the maintain these photo reactions or photobioreactor. And you obviously you have seen this type of petri dishes where you can lab, you can grow the algae, and different processes are there. You can use different medium like agar-agar medium and put some microbes or algae that can easily grow. And for this is mostly these techniques are useful for the testing and research purposes. So this is why algae are mainly focused for the production of this farm, production of this bio what happened that called energy. So this bioenergy, this is mostly useful because the algae are commonly found and it is easily grown. So this is where the algae are being interest for this production of bioenergy. So next come to in our topic, what is this? Let's see. Algal based biofuel production. Now come to a different part of the same algae. First is how why algal is used for the energy purposes, and this biofuel production how algae can be utilized or how algae can be useful for the biofuel production. So let's see how it is. So these are the algae are the future generation or the future biofuel. This is the presentation for the different research students. So we are going to that. So for this production of biofuel, this algae is used, and let's discuss each agenda in details. Why algae is used as biofuel? We already discussed this one. Then production processes, production cost, and rates of improvement, interpersonal opportunity, continue. These are the different topics we are going to discuss. So Biofuels, we will just remind what is biofuel. This is a green and alternative energy derived from biological materials through biomass conversion. These biological materials may be different types that are renewable energy resources. It can easily produce from the biomass which is renewable, and production requires more effort and resources because biofuels are produced with some different mechanisms within it. Then can significantly reduce greenhouse emissions, releasing CO2 when burning. Biofuel production consumes its best. We already discussed biofuel can be, or it is nothing but the plant material that can be a residue of these plants. Whether it is maybe higher plants or algae, the plant residue, plant body part that can be used as biofuels. So there are different types of biofuels are there. Ethanol, biodiesel. What is ethanol? That is the process which can be convert the body stuff, remaining body parts of the that from the with the special plants where you can convert the biomass to the ethanol. That is called ethanol or bioethanol. Also you can call. Then second is the biodiesel, which is the oil which can be produced from the oil seeds or the body fats of this biomass. Biogasoline, that is called biodiesel, and biopetrol, sorry, biodiesel is the higher long chain hydrocarbon, and biogasoline that are the short chain hydrocarbon length. Then biobutanol, it can be called as butanol, is the small length hydrocarbon chain which is a clean fuel. Then methane, the biomethane, obviously we have already discussed about the biogas production, that is called gobar gas plant, we already discussed in unit 3. And jet fuel, jet fuel is nothing but the high energy fuel we can use to the jet purposes, that is mostly blending of this biobutanol and this hydrogen energy we already discussed in unit 3. Evolution of biofuel productions, this is the things how this biofuel can be production takes place. So there are three types of three generations are there. First generation biofuel, second generation biofuel, third generation biofuel. So first generation of biofuel mainly consisting of these different types of the body parts which is combinedly the fruit, stem and residue of this body. These are called the first generation. The second generation is the from the biomass, mostly the wood and the with the some processes. Without first generation, you can process this fuel without the different processes, chemical processes. Second generation, we are utilizing this biomass to the production of the biofuel with some processes, chemical processes. Third generation is the algal biomass, which are the mostly nowadays we are in focus. So first and we forgot about first and second generation. Come to the third generation, that is the algal bioenergy, or when we are utilize algae to produce energy, that is the highest and the most recent advanced mechanism which can be done with the bioengineers or biotechnologists, biologists, research of the biologists. First generation being second generation, this is the small differences there. First generation produced mainly from agricultural crops, traditionally grown from the food of the animal purposes. Wheat, sugarcane, oily seed contribute to higher food prices, carbon store, land use, not energy native. That means it can be produced traditional way. In second generation, produced from the non-edible crops and non-edible land. If you are producing some crops, land which is non-edible and that can be utilized the wasteland mainly. So these are the second generation that require some technology in it. But in first generation, already grown and no technology involved in this. Lignocellulosic biomass, woody crops, agricultural residue, organic waste. This is comes under second generation. Harder to extract the fuel and potential due to net energy positive. This is the second generation points. Then third generation, that is the agenda for the biofuel, and so algal is the basics of the third generation on the production of energy. And why algae are mostly utilizes, that is algae are most simple plants that ranges from microalgae to the seaweeds and the giant crabs. That means it the different types of algae are there, variety species are there, and it can be grow in any types of water, either it is sea water, either it is lake water, either it is pond water. We already discussed. Most microalgae grow through the photosynthesis conversion of CO2 and nutrients. Obviously the small tiny plants are there, and other algae can grow in dark using sugar and starch. It can also, some algae can grow without this photosynthesis process or in the without light. So algal is biofuel because it can be grown in marginal land, useless ordinary crop. We already discussed it. We cannot utilize this as a food or anything, and it is a waste normally, and it can grown in any kinds of these water bodies. High yield per acre. Obviously, it is a fast growing. Last slide we will discuss fast growing, rapidly double seed weight in next day, and have a harvesting cycle of 1 to 10 days, and easily can be harvested. Can grow with minimal impact to the freshwater resources. Small water is there required. Can grow using flue gases from power plants and CO2 sources. It CO2 can be captured using this algae. Can convert higher fraction of biomass than to oil, and conversional to 60% to the soybean. If you are compare with the biomass conversions, energy conversion of soybean and this algae, soybean is even a edible plant. Only whatever may be the percentage of that conversion bioenergy takes place, it is 60% more than this soybean processes. So this is the waste material, or we cannot use being used, that can be also required to generate, can helpful to generate more energy than the soybean. That means high yielding. Last slide we will discuss. Third, 75% of the efficiency can be takes place, and three parts are, that is cell wall, the oil, and this starch that can be usefulness. So algae is the basis of the algal biofuels. So algae yields be multiple times higher than the normal biofuels crops. There are so many other biofuels crops are there. For example, jatropha and this soybean, mustard. They are produces oil. So this may be called biofuel. Well, it may not be utilize this oil as a fuel, but it can produce the oil. But when you are algae compared to algae, algae is the highest source or high yielding as compared to the other plants. See, this is the some data how algae use a biofuel than other fuel. The comparison of the algae with the biofuel used for other fuels. Algae biofuel production also refers to better than other greenhouse gases emission and reduce the manufacture except the energy. That means other plants which are required more time and maybe produce carbon dioxide in the night time, because we you know the plants which capture carbon dioxide in daytime in place of sunlight, and also avoid carbon dioxide in the night time, because both in presence of light and in place of uh, absence of light, day reaction and dark reactions and light reactions happens. So day reaction is called photosynthesis processes, and light dark reaction is called for this respiration processes. But algae is the plant which can always the light reaction is more, or the carbon capture is more than other plants. So here see some plants, crop plants are there: corn, sugarcane, switch grasses, wood residue, soybean, then kaluna, algae. These are the comparison between different types of uh, fuels production or biofuel production plants. As we compare, corn can be produce ethanol, sugar can produce also ethanol, wood residue produce ethanol biodiesel, and this algae produce biodiesel. So these can be the third column. Look at the third column. The greenhouse gas emission is reduced by 183, which is the highest among the all. So this is the high meta efficient, high greenhouse gas emission means it for extract, or it can capture a high amount of carbon dioxide as compared to the other plants. It also required very low amount of water, medium amount of water than other plants, not high. Last, see the last line. Then low quantity of fertilizers, low quantity of pesticides, and high energy content as compared to the others. And percentage of extracting oil is also 1 to 2% higher. And what are the pros and cons? Potential for huge productions levels, technology not ready. It is the cons, because this is the production can be utilized very high, energy also high, but in a massive scale there is no such types of any conversion technology are there now. But in lab scale we can prove that the energy produced by this algae is more as compared to the other plants. So this is, let's say, another 10 years to 15 years, maybe this algae can be grown, and maybe the future. That's why it is the future energy, or future energy, or green energy for the future. Biofuel energy density comparison. Look how biofuel energy density can be compared. Algae oil may be called as this bioenergy or biofuel from algae. The density is comparable like other different types of energy that is found from biodiesel, green diesel, castor oil, fat, sunflower oil, biogas. So there are not so much fluctuations at all. Last column is for algae biofuel, which is nearly 40, which is mostly evident and the density is good. Then come to production process. How algae is produced in mass and it can be utilized for this. So this is the process, algae biofuel production process. First, what happen? Power generation factory emissions takes place, where carbon dioxide. See the first picture, where carbon dioxide can be emissions takes place from different anthropogenic activity or industries, and this carbon dioxide, which is the main nutrient for this algae. Second, where algae can be grown. Algae can be grown either in first slides we already discussed, can be grown in open field, open pond, or can be grown in different tubes and different structures. So these carbon dioxide and solar light combinedly take by the algae, and after that the algae can be harvested, extracted, the third figure, because algae are very teeny particles. We have to just filter it out from the water and harvest. We have to harvest. Then we have to process this algae in a separate technology, separate plant, where the algae or biomass can be converted into biofuel. This biomass to biofuel conversion is the main technology, the refined technology, which can be required to convert this. And this biofuel, which can be utilized in different either car, bus, truck, either jet fuel, anywhere you can be utilized this thing. So this is the main production processes. First is cultivation, second is harvest, third is refine. These three processes are there and uses. So this is the overview of the algae productions, how it is produced. First, bio processing, genetic breeding, CO2, water, nutrient, your sunlight are there, the inputs are there. Stand development. Stand development means this bio, actually this bioengineers or these microbiologists or biotechnologists which are mostly grown this algae in a lab scales with these different kinds of their handling techniques for better growth of the algae, and they have to give some nutrients, water, sunlight and carbon dioxide, that is input. Then production process, pond design, water management, crop production, it can be also depends. Then third process is harvest, means de-watering. It is a filter out this process. Then co-products, because after harvesting there are some different products, starch or oil may be separated to each other. So there are different products which can be utilized for the cosmetic production, all these things. After that, the remaining biomass which can be extracted for the fuel generation, then refine takes place. After refining, that can be utilized for the blending in the gasoline or the petrol. Algae oil production processes, same thing is here. What is a schematic diagram? screen the water, then flue gas, carbon dioxide is the input. You did not remember exactly this diagram, but if there is a maybe questions how algae can be produced oil, so you can write your own steps. That is first, second step that may be uh, higher means how utilize the algae can be utilized to for the process. This either this or this may be simple diagram. This one. So now there are algae is a common plants. So there are different species are there. Which species having rapid growth, is having low growth. There are different species. Which species can be grown for the energy production plant? Because for the energy production algae, more and huge amount of algae is required. So we have to screen out these different strains or different species for the production of energy. That is algal species, microalgae preferred mostly. Actually, algae are two types: microalgae, macroalgae. Let's discuss about this thing. So, microalgae are mostly preferred. Small algae, teeny particles are there. Highest yielding algae in the wide aquatic circular plain, that is called chlorophyceae. As you green algae, that is called chlorophyceae. The name which is the highest yielding algae. High growth rate. Obviously, we are already discussed. Population density is more. Can double in biomass, already discussed. We one day is 50 kg, next day become 100 kg. Then harvest within the 110 to 10 days, 1 to 10 days. Less complex structure, simple cell wall is there, and inside the cell wall it is a Lego type of structures are there, so you can easily harvest and you can easily process. Then higher oil content in the algae inside the cell, oil is there. Oil content is more as compared to the cell wall and other starch content. Then produces oil, protein, and sugars. Because sugars are there, starch is nothing but sugars, and this cell wall is nothing but the protein. That is called cellulose. Is the name of the protein. Where the importance improvements areas of improvement require polycultures are genetic engineering, improvement traits to be tolerant in hard condition, because obviously algae which is a most useful species and easily growing species, but we have to also improve these things. Polyculture means if you utilize one pond by using growing of simple algae, then the waste of this water may be wasteless. If you are growing fish along this algae, then same area, same structures, you can grow two types of things. For energy production, you can grow algae also, and the for food production, you can grow fish also. This is called polyculture. That means simultaneously grow different types of species or for different production process. Genetic engineering, we are utilizing this our biotechnology process, genetics process for the rapid grow and the harsh construction of species. Improvement traits does not even also the some waters are salty conditions are there, and some higher temperature also resist higher temperature, so you have to develop this kind of biogenetic engineering or improve the traits and the yield. If normally the algae is grow doubling its volume or doubling its weight for the, in 24 hours, now if you are going changing its gene in mutation level, and it can be either triple and 4x zoom or 4x its weight in 24 hours, that may be very useful for our production of energy, because in place of growing double in weight, it may be become 4 times. So which is or rapidly mainly if we can utilize the algae biomass. Biosafety issues are there. Many facilities survival growth of algae, manage ecosystem, determine natural environment, because we know algae is the waste things which can be contaminated in even water body. That water body fully spoiled. The eutrophication happens. The real oxygen level is become low. The aquatic organisms are under stress conditions. So if you are do not manage properly and if just freely grow algae in any conditions, then the water body is fully wasted. So safety issues are there. The water aquatic organisms and the aquatic ecosystem that fully disturbed by this algae. So you have to keep in mind to not happen these things. So this is the important things we have to keep in mind. Algae growth methods. So there are different growth. different production strategy are there. We already discussed. First thing are the uh, open pond that we may be that is called raceway pond. That in first slide we can discuss the raceway pond, open pond, that is pond-like structures and rapidly grow in open air. The algae can be grown. Second is called photobioreactors. The tube are containing algae and control environment in lab. Control environment, light and nutrients are provided for the growth of this algae. Third is called fermentation. Here the algae can be grown or in the different tanks of the control processes, the fermentation processes. So there are different advantages and disadvantages of all these methods. For raceways, what are the advantages? It are low capital costs. Just we have to dig the pond-like structure, evaporate cooling outside, and maintain temperatures. Open air, so obviously it is cooling is easy. Then what are disadvantages? That is challenges. Difficult to regulate chemistry. Higher likelihood to contamination to the scale up. It may be contaminated to the whole ecosystems or other systems. So next is photoreactors. What is advantages? Higher surface volume ratio. That means whatever the tubes may be present, the algae are grown in control environment, the production is more as compared to the volume or weight by method. So what are the challenges? Difficult to scale up because area and the tube volume is very limited. High amount of cost is also required. High capital is required to grow this algae such in a tube, circular tube, all these things are remain. Then high likelihood for contamination. Any other contamination may be takes place. If the contamination takes place, you cannot control it. Require temperature maintenance. It gives a particular temperature to maintain this. So you require some AC rooms or some control environment. There also cost is very high. Requires periodic cleaning, and the cleaning of the instrument or the PQs periodically after harvesting he also require maintenance is very much high. So this is not recommended for the huge scale production, but in lab scale for developing these traits and all these things, this can be utilized. And for fermentation process achieves higher biomass concentration easier to optimal condition of production because big silos are used for this production processes. So it is high achievement is there. What are the challenges? It also completes the feedbacks, feedstocks and other biofuel technology possibility food supply, sugar cane and scaling of the efficiency to scale. Because this is this technology can also compete with these food stocks and all because the bio algae can be grown in a different types of the possibilities of sugar can that can be contaminated with this. So this might be rich for that. So there are three different methods of growing algae. What are these? One is called raceway method or open pond method. Second is called photobioreactor and third is called fermentation. So this is the open BS cost comparison is there. So this can be discussed in next class. So till up to this we can conclude. So if you have any questions regarding this, then you can ask. Next class we will discuss the other parts of this, how this algae can be grown, what are the cost involved, how it got advantages, disadvantage of all these things. So anyone, any questions regarding this algae?
So,
Okay, so let's if you are carefully listening, then you can able to answer what are the three things which can be extract from the algae. Anyone can answer? What are the three useful things?
oil, that's natural gas and fuel.
Yes, one is
Oil,
yes, oil. Oil, one is oil, second is starch, and third is the cell wall. Three things can be extracted from the oil algae that are you for the process for the production of this bioenergy. And another important question is that why algae, not other plants? Why algae is focused for the production of biomass or biochar?
Uh, it,
Hmm. This
it,
this
it does photosynthesis.
yes. These are the few points. It can doubles in 24 hours. Higher growth rate. Harvesting cycle is also very few or easily harvested. Less structures. More energy efficient. So these are some points. Then third question is, what are the different production process of this algae? These are the three production process or growing methods of algae: raceway, photobioreactor, and fermentation. Actually, these are all details you can study in the biotechnology or genetics or microbiology. If you are a biology student, then you can uh, go in details how this microbial uh, growth culture can be happen. I am not exactly biology, so I cannot go know how to the details inside it. How these gene structures, how the traits are developed, how this what happens this called, uh, nutrients can be developed and the methods and how can be grown. There are some techniques are there. So for today, this is next class we will continue on further. Okay. Good night.